Whenever you're ready.
The diverse thought in articulated way. The spoken word is strong. There will always be consequences to speech, even if you choose not to think out loud. Opportunity is always lurking around. I had to excuse myself from the narrow-minded. Social theory, the largest engine for moving messages. All fun and games. Continuing to ban words, thoughts, books, the good, the bad and ugly. A minor philosophy to a large one. Bothering deep, bothered people. A coherent thought. Power to counter. Sigh. Widespread waves to power the mind. And sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes it's over nothing, like there's no reason to it. A slap in the face. Look into it. Look at the abyss. Dares to go into the depth, refusing to be absent. Catching the demon in acts, aglow in the dark Jackson Pollock. Identifying a meaningful word with unjust ideologies. A murdering of murdering. Whatever is wrong, the vice, the sin is attractive, and we get normalized. Some things for some people, their lives will lead them nowhere. Not all of them are legit class clowns. A functioning person, this world, a bare minimum, based in reality, trying not to define, but to discover identity. The good, hopefully, disputed around the world. Look, community, we've all got to be born somewhere. I made a living being a theosist. No one wanted to hire me, so I began writing my frustrations. This was just prior. The internet is becoming mainstream, so I would print them out and sell them out on the street. To be honest, at first, it took me to some weird places. Thinking, don't get into the debt trap. I'm finding other ways to express my thoughts. I'm trying art rather than relying on the written word. Give it to you all. Be yourself. Fully understand your priority. Not be a pseudo-intellectual. Outside of insanity, you'll be purely yourself. Have you heard about the Messianic path? Saint-like desire to filter out internally is highly addictive, fully complex in it all. In the process of fully immersing myself in philosophy, I discovered poetry too, trying hard not to be so poetic. Books, the collected wisdom. I've published some books. I've got a textbook in some higher education circles. Fame is no longer for authors. Let good ideas invade your mind. I find it interesting at my motivation to document my own development of thought. I know that seems egotistical of me. It started for me. I was learning about religion. I can't remember the lesson, but this dude put forth, the Pontius Pilate put forth the most important question to Jesus Christ himself. What is truth? Early on, after my religious learnings, I was trying to think out the relationship between beauty and morality. It needed more learning. There was no other middle finger to give, other than to think for yourself, grow, be someone's friends, while being fine alone. That this thought is curious to me. Things fall apart. Learn about chaos theory. No truth or morality can survive on authority, deep-seated conviction, whether if truth or morality is made or discovered as anything inside of my character is to what my hands put down there. And when I'm unreflective, I not check, I'm either so stupid or I'm across as dogmatic. And nothing can be put out there without accepting that one doesn't know everything and could be so wrong, whether entitled to large scope of freedom, being so crystal clear, striding to be better, more intelligent, more humble, it's all rewards on that other side. There is no risk. Speculation is a funny thing. Take advantage to all philosophy. My moral duty is to find out what morality is. The limitation of freedom is a step too far of injustice. Opportunities ought to be continued, breathing passage. But someone who's just let influence drip, we could not possibly save everything, though the practical of emotional intelligence is the process of the mastery of life. A change of thought provokes a change of criticism. Facing death, you'll find out how small one is. New ideas will be wrestling until it dies. In the midst of it all, birthing is the right thing to do. Ponder on if it ought ever to be acted upon. Some people are desperate, either exception or validation, and begin to become embarrassed of their life experience of poor choices. We are all doing life for the first time. I knew someone, I worked with him in many formative years. He had no life skills, which in turn offering practically no life experience, and became utterly obsessed with Star Wars. Like that dude I knew was in a covers band, got a few gigs, thinking it was a start. Neither to say, took him almost 5 months to get another job. In the process, got kicked out of the place he was staying and stuffed his credit score. I don't think we need covers band. We need original art.
Oh, that was really relaxing.
So, do you want to repeat that last? So I hadn't practiced.
That's okay.
So it's hegemony.
Hegemony.
Hegemony. Sorry, sometimes I need it. It's 3 syllables, not 2. quote you Shakespeare. Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. We know what we are, but not what we may be. I decided to try documentary filmmaking because it's something else. Like, this isn't a new idea. Giving this a go is new for me. Outside family stuff. I've never done anything else for anyone. Do you want to repeat on that one?
You're alright, you're okay, you're alright. Keep going.
Would extend beyond words.
It's been good fun so far, man. A bit of a slow start with the Nuclear Bay walk, but we've picked.
minority are for argument, but it doesn't constitute for the entirety of someone. It can't. Helmets are cool. Hit your head on the pavement, brain damage. I dare you to spend one entire 24-hour stream just watching live news. Never underestimate the level of stupidity people can do over the choices they make in their daily lives. People don't realise that long-term alcohol abuse can actually cause some pretty astonishing brain damage. This is one time when playing tourist over in the States, I once asked, "Where's the Joshua tree?" old neighbour of mine lost his job, couldn't make rent, was going to get evicted, burnt the house down out of spite. Life in the humanities is a large, expanding web. I think I'm having one of those days. Nothing is going to get done. I'm going to speak from any other academic. Part of my job is to continue learning.
Yeah.
We've got like walls in every one sort of various country towns that
Yeah.
we've been on, as well as we've got sort of it's quite a solemn place.
Yeah.
Just sort of they've revamped it because Harry Regan opened it up in 2018.
Yeah.
Before
Before they left,
before
yeah.
that collapsed.
Yeah.
So it was actually quite special the way they sort of preserved it.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a long tag, just have a walk around. That was short.
I really am now chilling out now.
Yeah.
13,000 steps.
Yeah.
Out a little bit, but that's okay. Hang in. I can hang in.
Be aware, never turn down someone who is intelligent, humble, competent, who just wants to be your friend. There are many factors away for someone to stuff up their lives. When I graduate university, my dad approached me, putting one of his hands on my shoulder, looked directly in my eyes and said, "Son, one thing I like about you, you don't smoke all the way to the filter." And then he walked away. Pretty crazy how much it is just accepted as the norm. Enormous amounts of people living paycheck to paycheck, and I just have to deal with it, with no potential end in sight. I don't know how many people do it every day. Loss of hope, not asking for help, not making themselves a priority, in some cases, not giving priority to important relationships, holding on to anger, and unable to let it go of the past. But never forget, there is no bottom to how depraved people can get. I originally came outside to walk around, mainly just to clear my head. And then I got into work. I dived deep into it. Life in the humanities is a large, expanding web. And I'm thinking of having one of these days, nothing is going to get done. I might just do that again. To be original is to be constantly misunderstood. I'm unsure whether to seek out any originality is crave power. After all, no one will be able to recognize authenticity, mainly because they've never seen it before. be taken seriously, to be admired, take away from self-contradiction. But anything is depending on what you want. While never knows in their development, right or wrong. But if you want to be original, go to the independent from influence. I'm sure most people want everyday truths. But be aware, if you search for the truth, don't let it exhaust you from other human pursuits. But with that said, I'm sure most people would want to know, if they get fired today, would they be able to get a job within a few days? How much would rent be in the next rental property? What is the worth of $1? Do friends actually care? Are they searching for the truth, rendering them more healthier to be around? Defining how to judge the best philosopher is in itself probably a test for the best philosophers out there. And if there is truth in morality, freedom allows for people to hold preference. But to hold something internally, anything in holding, does that diminish freedom itself? You've got to question whether the philosopher is a good writer, a skilled craft, but be concerned with actually living life. Whether your life is worth living, people admire or respect you, are experiencing growing pains, things of that nature. And there is no ultimate source of wisdom, no sure path. Morality and the life worth living is an eternal problem that anyone with a conscious mind will struggle with, rendering the worth of philosophy. I would ask you first, what is your intention in reading philosophy as in? What is the context for your question? Would you like to understand more of what philosophy is to simply increase your general knowledge? Did someone inspire you in some way that made you ask the question? Gain insight on critiquing philosophy. I don't know if a good future needs bad memories, or if bad experiences are a crutch for a better future. Though I don't think most people know how fragile their personal world is. Wisdom is insight, which means being able to recognize what's right and just from motivational factors. To possess wisdom is to be able to view and navigate through technically complicated scenarios from a higher bird's eye vantage point of view that avoids detrimental outcomes. Wisdom is to view a given situation at a harmonious whole, not from a fragmented point of view. Philosophy rightly incorporates aesthetics as an integral component without which it would not be able to address the subject of beauty. Beauty directly appeals to the soul. Beauty is the feminine counterpoint to intelligence. But I cannot part from the idea that there is an intellectual hegemony. Hegemony. Hedge, as in, sorry. Do you want to take it from a particular point?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Philosophy rightly incorporates aesthetics as an integral component without which it would not be able to address the subject of beauty. Beauty directly appeals to the soul. Beauty is the feminine counterpoint to intelligence. But I cannot part from the idea that there is intellectual hegemony for any other hegemony.